Gervonta Davis on the left side of your screen, 21 years old. The kid has the temperament and the tools, they say, to be a Floyd Mayweather type fighter. 21 years old, 13-0, 12 knockouts in those 13 fights. Today standing in his way, Luis Sanchez as his opponent. Luis Sanchez, 17-4-1. The crowd is going to meet the fighters right now. For that, we turn it over to the ring announcer, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Pearl de Palms from Las Vegas, live on Spike. This is Premier Boxing Champions. The action begins with 10 rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing the red corner first. He wears the black and red. His professional record, 17 wins, 4 losses with 1 draw, 5 victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Cancun, Mexico, introducing Luis Sanchez. And across the ring, his adversary, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the white and blue. He's undefeated as a professional. 13 victories, 12 by way of knockout with no defeats. Fighting out of Baltimore, Maryland, introducing Gervonta Davis. In charge of the action, your referee, Kenny Bayless.
Okay, chunks are good on both sides, fellas. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, Brenda Swate. Touch him up. God bless.
You know Gervonta Davis wants to put on a show. A national TV audience. His hero, his mentor, Floyd Mayweather, sitting ringside. Don't blink, ladies and gentlemen. This young man on the right side of your screen has put 12 of his 13 professional opponents out early by knockout. And PBC on Spike, the year-end wrap-up begins now.
Stat that jumps off the page at you, 2.1 rounds per fight for this guy. He gets it over quick.
It's something about those southpaws, man, I'll tell you.
Coming from the southpaw.
6 first-round knockouts. Granted, not big-name opponents. Luis Sanchez is probably his toughest opponent to date. Sanchez coming in saying he knows the pedigree this kid has, but he's ready to show out that tough Mexican style.
As a last style he wants to display right now, mine would be slick, move, get out of the opening round, see if this kid has gas for a long fight, because we haven't seen it yet.
Guys, we could fill this arena with fighters who have maybe carelessly been called the next Floyd Mayweather by someone. This kid in the blue trunks has been called the next Floyd Mayweather by Floyd himself. When he walked into Floyd's gym for the first time, he said, "Oh, you're the one I've heard about." Floyd told Gervonta, "You're the one I've heard about? Put your gear on." No warm-up, no nothing. Got him in the ring, had some sparring session, and Floyd himself said he saw something special in this young man.
One's the thing you and I were talking about, champ, that tendency he has to stay in the pocket. He doesn't seem to want to back up, leaves that lead hand low, but stays in punching range. He's always waiting for that left-hand counter opportunity.
Hey, Jimmy, you know when you watch the highlights, they're always perfect. You always see the great shots. But it's these type of rounds that we need to see if Mr. Davis has everything that everybody says he has. Love his temperament, though.
Yeah.
Love his temperament.
Yeah. Quiet confidence. He believes he's the one, but generally a pretty quiet kid, pretty humble, but man, you can tell he puts in work.
Came into the ring very loose, big smile on his face, came into our fighter meetings yesterday, seemingly very relaxed.
Best fighters enjoy the moment. They understand you only get so many of these moments. I think he understands and feels that.
You know, the kinetic energy that is built up can be released right now.
Right now, so far, Luis Sanchez not fighting intimidated, staying behind the jab, moving well. Very conscious of the power in that left hand.
And it'd be good if he can take Gervonta some rounds and really give him some work and maybe land a couple shots. See if this guy, you know, has everything that everybody say he has. I believe he do, but still we have to see.
Yeah, exactly. Every record leaves questions. You get a lot of knockouts, everybody's questioning whether or not you go the distance. If you kill everybody with a left hand, they're going to question whether or not you have a right hand. A lot of questions for this kid because of the number of knockouts he's had.
Okay, minor victory perhaps. Final seconds countdown, round number 1. Gervonta Davis's corner man is Calvin Ford. His ringside man is the greatest. Look at Floyd Mayweather in between rounds, coaching up his young protege. The microphone's not close enough to Floyd there to hear him, but that's the respect.
You see those hands. You see what he's telling him to do.
There you go. Oh, Kenny Bayless. Now, eye for detail. Kenny Bayless saw a towel still on the canvas. Tell him to pull it down, and we're underway in round number 2. So 12 knockouts in 13 fights for Davis. 10 of those 12 knockouts within 2 rounds or less. Davis more active. In fact, how about the defense there by Davis? Only 4 punches, CompuBox says, landed against Gervonta in the first round.
CompuBox is needed. I just don't know how accurate it is.
Very true. You got to take all of it with a grain of salt, man. And of course, Gervonta Davis does have excellent defense, but I also think a lot is because the strategy of Luis Sanchez, not throw his wad in the first couple rounds, not try to exchange with this young, powerful kid, drag him into the later rounds. So I think we're going to see a conservative approach from Sanchez in the first couple rounds.
Well, we know Gervonta can hit. He has the knockout power. But a lot of times when you have a young fighter that has so many devastating knockouts, they get into a mode of power punching, and they don't throw combinations.
Sanchez and Davis exchange. Davis dodges and returns fire. And now Gervonta picks up the pace.
And he likes that head movement, setting up power shots. We saw that in his last fight. We're seeing it again.
But again, you got to do that with your hands up because you can't give the guy like Sanchez an opportunity to land a clean punch.
Davis, powerful, but he's there to be hit, is what you're saying. He has his hands down. He likes to stay in the pocket.
I mean, just don't fall in love with your power and thinking that this guy don't have 2 hands as well.
Fans, download the free Spike app with full episodes of your favorite shows anywhere, anytime for free.
When they are exchanging, Sanchez showing that Latin warrior heart. He's stepping in there like you expect a Mexican fighter to. He's giving back. He's not backing off. He's certainly not fighting intimidated.
Gervonta right now is waiting on the counter, but he's not really giving it because Sanchez is not really letting his hands go.
And one thing about that southpaw stance, generally speaking, harder to use the jab, the straight jab all by itself. For a lot of guys, he's not much of a jabber so far. Seems to prefer that left-hand power shot as opposed to the jab, so he's not setting it up as much.
And that's a problem.
Yeah. Pace picked up here in round number 2. We're back for round 3. We're watching Gervonta Davis's 14th professional fight, a decorated amateur, as you see on the graphic there. And then some legendary things about this young man when he was an up-and-comer in a hard-scrabble background from Baltimore. When he would get in trouble in school, the teachers would know to call the local boxing gymnasium. And his punishment for getting in trouble at school, for whatever the issue may have been, was to have to spar everyone who was in the gym at the time. Davis said he actually relished those. So the folks who run the boxing gym had to change the punishment to say, you can't spar after. And that actually worked on him to straighten him back out in school.
Just noticing that Davis' legs are spread wide, a lot of distance between. They should be shoulder length apart, straight up.
I think that's going to hurt his movement once he's in between punches.
I mean, if he overextend with that left hand, it just would be harder for him to get out and get out of reach from another punch.
See some fan tweets on the bottom of your screen there. Appreciate you folks so much in the first year of PBC and the first voyages of PBC on Spike. What a thrilling year we've had, and throughout the course of the 3 hours here this evening, we're going to recap some of the top moments, which could be produced right now by Gervonta, who picks it up with a couple of exchanges with Sanchez. Both fighters landing some punches. They're willing now Oh, and Davis snaps his head back with a left.
Nicely done.
And if you notice, it wasn't the power shot, it was the combination punches. This is what these young guys need to stick with. The power is there. It's going to happen. Just throw it and let it go. Combination
Sanchez
punches.
can slip that first punch. He can't slip the third and fourth. He can't see him coming.
That exchange, you can see Floyd there with the light blue shirt right in the middle of ringside seating there. Floyd Mayweather came out of his seat after that last exchange.
I like what I see now. Gervonta Davis is standing close. He's catching and he's firing back. And I love his composure in the ring for a young fighter. And composure is very important.
You just forget, this kid's just 21.
21 years old.
So far, Luis Sanchez not backing off, not showing fear, even though he's been on the receiving end of some very powerful shots. He's staying right in there.
Two more lefts.
What Gervonta Davis is doing is he's changing up that power shot.
Left uppercut caught Davis. Davis pounds his chest like he wants more. The two lightweights trade in the middle of the ring. Davis with a combination that lands, and another left. Final 30 seconds of round number 3. Best action of the fight so far. The left lands again and again.
And Sanchez is wobbly. What I was going to say is Davis is changing it up, the uppercut and the straight left, and Luis Sanchez cannot see which one it is. That's why it keeps landing.
Round 3 demonstrated the speed, the accuracy, and power of the man who some have called the next great one, Gervonta Davis. However, Luis Sanchez, the Mexican, trading back with that left uppercut, his best punch of the fight. Start round number 4, scheduled for 10.
It's been all Gervonta Davis right now, but I want to give credit to Sanchez, man. He took some awesome shots, some devastating shots, but he didn't go down, and he's still here trying to pull off this upset.
And answered back.
Yes, he
found
did.
his opportunities to counter punch. That's important.
Gervonta Davis, according to CompuBox, creeping up towards 60% of his power punches landing. 52 by the CompuBox count. 52 punches, 57%.
50% is considered a lot of times the line of demarcation. You land over half your power punches, you're winning the fight handily. And I think he is. But one thing statistically that doesn't show is he throws a lot of power punches.
Yes.
You know, he doesn't use a lot of jabs. So I think that's the majority of his offense, hence those gaudy numbers.
Most definitely. And if he had that jab where he can really dictate, pop, 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 and disguise that power, it makes him a more, what you would say, an unpredictable fighter.
Hey fans, wake up on New Year's Eve morning and tune in as the last emperor, Fyodor Emelianenko, makes his long-awaited return to MMA, plus King Mo in an epic 8-man heavyweight tournament. Breakfast with Fyodor. That's New Year's Eve morning, Thursday, December 31st, 10 a.m. on Spike.
Now it's in this intermediate range where that jab is so handy. That's what you need to throw out there. Gervonta Davis waiting for the counter opportunities with the power hand. Tactically a different choice.
And you hit the nail on the coffin right here. You said waiting, and that's what he's been doing this round. But when you're doing it like this, waiting, that jab has to be effective, has to be busy. What it does, it makes your opponent, you either have to reset, stop, and do it over again.
You have to react somehow to the jab. Yeah.
Right.
Luis Sanchez, Juan Manuel Marquez, one of his idols, you see he carries the jab hand in a very similar way.
He has been open to a left uppercut twice, and Luis Sanchez has connected both times.
Yep. It's good or bad, we're seeing this young man has a chin, too.
There you go.
Trying to see the bright side of your Davis's corner. Seeing he has a chin.
Again, what's important, I want to give Sanchez credit. A lot of guys that taste Gervonta Davis' power, they're out of there.
Shut down
They
completely.
shut down, they quit, it's over. But he's continuing to fight, and this is going to be good for Davis in the long run.
Both men, I think, with respectful pauses right here for the opponent's strength, as, well, almost no punches thrown in the final 10 seconds of the round. starting to work towards uncharted territory for the young phenom, Gervonta Davis. He has never been past round number 6. We enter round 5 as Floyd Mayweather's protege comes back to the center against what has been so far a very game Mexican fighter in the black trunks, Luis Sanchez.
I don't know if it was enough, but Sanchez landed the best punches in that round. And I don't know if he won it. It could be that Davis lost his first round as a pro.
Nice right hook over the top.
Pleased to be joined by PBC historian Marcos Villegas as our unofficial scorekeeper today. And he did indeed give that round number 4 to Luis Sanchez. 39-37 on Marcos' scorecard. We'll be checking with him throughout the evening. 3 hours of boxing action. Do you have the stamina, Antonio?
Yeah.
Have you done your road work, Jimmy?
I've been running and training. I'm ready to go.
All right. I'm in. I'm all in.
Now, if Luis Sanchez is going with that slow burn strategy of dragging him into the deep water, he's got to start turning it up about now. So we'll see what his strategy is.
More blow warning there. Kenny Bayless, our referee, against Gervonta.
What do you look for in a young fighter? You look for stamina. You look for breaks in confidence when he can't knock a guy out. You look for chin. He's demonstrated some of them, but now we start seeing what this guy's made of. Ooh. Like you said, Antonio, he throws combinations. He's a killer.
He looks beautiful when he throws combination, but what I'm really surprised at, that it don't seem like the young guy has a dominant jab, a busy jab, and everything works off the jab. I think if he incorporates that in his game, he'll be a better fighter.
Throw the jab, labeling him as an entertaining rising star, Gervonta Davis.
Like the feints, and he needs to do a lot more of that, especially if Sanchez is reacting to him.
Right. Boy, as we take this shot, guys, it's almost impossible to take your eyes off of Floyd in the background. Yeah. Floyd is active and engaging in everything he does, including coaching up his young guy, standing right in the middle there.
You know why?
Shouting out instructions.
I mean, Floyd has co-signed for this guy.
There you go. There you go.
His name's on him.
He takes it personal. I mean, if this guy doesn't rise to that level, then what does that mean?
Yeah. Gervonta Davis told us that he still can't believe it when the text message ding goes off on his phone and the name says Floyd Mayweather. Third time that Kenny Bayless has had to check Davis on trying to or throwing Sanchez down to the canvas head first. Sanchez overextending himself a few times in this fight. Sanchez has taken Davis's best so far. We will fight on. Back at the Palms Casino and Resort, and Floyd.
Now up out of his seat.
Oh, you know, I caught the last thing that he said. Floyd said, "You've had plenty of rounds," I believe is what the message was. In other words, time to maybe put him in the blender and put him on his back.
It might not be that easy.
No, I'm just saying. That was what Floyd maybe
easier said than done most of the time.
I don't think Sanchez is going to cooperate that easy. Pawing with the jab. He's not even attempting to score with it.
One thing, the longer a fight goes, it's very fatiguing throwing power punches over and over and over again. Jab, much more efficient. He hasn't been using that a whole lot.
And, you know, I'm not really judging him on the opponent that's in front of him now. I'm looking at the fact what he's going to have to do if he's in there with an A fighter of a top-notch light heavyweight. I mean, sir, those little things he's going to have to do better.
Yeah, they add up.
Yeah.
You know, it's a factor of 10 when you're fighting an A-level guy.
He might get away with it tonight, but I promise you he won't get away with it as he moves up that ladder.
You know, Gervonta's looked over in between rounds several times and seemingly listening in to Floyd. Talk to me about the dynamic, though, of really two voices in your head, because Floyd is not his corner man.
A 21-year-old guy getting instructions from the pound for pound, the best ever, Floyd Mayweather, and still trying to stay focused and manage this fight, it's overwhelming. I mean, the guy is 21 years old.
It's like when a Super Bowl championship coach retires, the new guy comes in to coach the team, but the Super Bowl champ is still around.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard not to listen to that wisdom.
Very true. And look at the
But
physical...
it's still extra chefs in the kitchen.
Right, but look at the physical demeanor of the fight. Now it's Luis Sanchez moving forward. Luis Sanchez being a little bit more the physical bully. I think growing in confidence, he's the one moving forward, being a little more aggressive.
I'll tell you what, guys, I remember Pretty Boy Floyd. I'm going to say Pretty Boy Floyd because when he was the young Floyd Mayweather, you know, we saw a lot of different things. Combination punches, defense, counter.
Great jab.
Great jab. I mean, he had it all.
Davis's hands.
He's a resemblance, but he's nowhere close to Floyd Mayweather.
Well, he brings it back up now, but Davis's hands were as low as they had been, about belt high, showing no defense, or at least not much respect for what he thought Sanchez could do. And there you see the quickness, the ability to get away by Davis.
This could be a strategic choice also by Davis in terms of he's not using the jab, so I have to get my opponent to overcommit so I can, land that big counter shot just like that. But it's leading him to back off a little bit more, leading him to maybe set a little bit more of a footwork trap for Luis Sanchez, hoping he walks into it.
I mean, like I said, if you had that jab, it'd make his job a lot easier.
Yeah. Guys, Gervonta Davis, young rising star, has never been past the 6th round. You'll watch him live do that next. For the first time in his young pro career, a man tabbed as a future superstar will go into the 7th round. If you're going to be the next Floyd Mayweather, you got to do something that the champ never worried about, and that is still pressing the issue in the latter rounds. What does he have in him for his Mexican opponent, Luis Sanchez, who comes out firing the first punches of round number 7?
Speaking of combination punches, now it's Sanchez throwing him, champ.
You know what? Sanchez picking it up, man. He might be taking it to another gear.
Davis covering up here.
Uh-oh.
Marcos Villegas with a 4-round advantage for Davis.
Now, could it be that strategically this was the round that Luis Sanchez decided to turn it on, that this was the game plan? Kid hasn't been past 6, turn it on in 7. That could be it. That's a nice right hand.
Yeah, I think that's it, man. Sanchez is working right now. He's really aggressive. He's putting the pressure on Davis. He's changing his fight plan right now.
The confidence building for the Mexican, perhaps, who has never fought in Las Vegas. Said he was going to treat it like anything else, national TV fight or not. Hails from Cancun. He says, hey, there's nothing laid back about me. He says, look it, yeah, people party in Cancun, but there's a lot of serious people. People party in Vegas. There are many serious fighters here.
There's the debate, and you hear it all the time. That's a Floyd Mayweather move. A lot of time putting the forearm on his opponent's head. You're not allowed to do that. But if the guy's charging into me with his head down,
his momentum is going there anyway.
Yeah,
and that's a tough thing for Kenny Bayless, our referee, to navigate.
Yeah, very true.
3rd time that Sanchez has gone down via that motion.
And you saw Gervonta Davis turn to the referee and go, hey, well, he's pushing into me with his head. What am I supposed to do?
Again, the waiting game for Gervonta Davis, and this is a close 7th round.
Oh.
Nice jab.
But this round, what we haven't seen, we've seen 1s and 2s. We haven't seen those combination punches that were effective early on in the fight. And like Sanchez, as he throws, he's angling off, not trying to stand in front of Davis.
Okay, Davis trying to get close now. He's catching. He's going to fire back. This is when I've seen that he's been the most effective.
That was a smart clinch by Sanchez in that position.
Left hand by Davis. found its mark. We're going to round number 8.
He's throwing single shots. Keep him in 2s and 3s. Here, take a swallow real quick. Take a swallow real quick.
In between rounds, Floyd Mayweather back up and towards the corner of Gervonta Davis. Floyd calling for some body work there.
Every round he gets a little bit closer to the corner. He's a little more involved than what he's saying to Davis.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the corner the next fight.
A little end swell on him.
All right, Davis came out here with a mission. Through a flurry, Sanchez says, okay.
I heard Floyd, not to cut you off, I heard him clearly say, stop going for the home run. Stop going for the home run and put those combinations together. Catch and shoot.
Look on Floyd Mayweather's face, almost disgust. This guy still shouldn't be in here with you, you know. Box like we taught you. There's a little bit of I think, urgency now from Gervonta Davis because of that look of, hey, you're better than this.
I think so, because Sanchez is still in this fight.
No, he's not. This guy's not giving up.
And the heads clash again. Gervonta had called for a headbutt warning against his opponent earlier. Let's listen.
Okay, you all right.
Gervonta was checking to see if he was cut on the top of his head after that clash. And the two men dive back in. Yet again.
Okay? Touch up. Keep it clean. Watch your head. Watch your head. Touch up. Touch up.
Yeah, Davis didn't want any part in touching gloves again. He says, I got some more to throw here. Davis has, well, if Floyd was telling him don't throw the home run, it looks like he's throwing everything behind the punches here in round number 8.
But he's throwing multiples. It's not one punch at a time. That's the difference.
You think you don't want a sensational knockout? I'll tell you what, man. I really
Oh, nice uppercut.
Oh, and a second one drops Sanchez. First knockdown of the fight. And Gervonta Davis enjoyed it with a bark over his opponent.
6, 7, 8. Okay? Come to me. Good. Full fight.
Floyd Mayweather is on his feet. Many members of the crowd on their feet. Does Davis have closing power in him here with 20 seconds remaining in round number 8? 2 left uppercuts, back to back, sent Sanchez to the ground. And now another left, staggers Sanchez, and another.
Ellis getting very close to stopping this fight.
Well, the left hand is there every time he's throwing it here, late in round number 8. Woo! Keep it here with no commercial. Let's take another look at the first and only knockdown of this lightweight bout. Floyd wanted multiples. I'm not sure he was calling for back-to-back left uppercuts, but that's what he delivered.
And the power on that shot. Look at the way it turns the head of Luis Sanchez, loads him up and catches him again, right here through the guard. Bang. And that's the shot that takes the legs out from Luis Sanchez. Had eaten a lot of shots throughout this fight, but those 2 uppercuts, man, one right after another, just was not ready for them. And in trouble the rest of the round.
Let's go.
And he said, we got him. Gervonta Davis entering round number 9, scheduled for 10.
Watch your head.
A 10-8 round for Davis in round number 8. The
what it does when you knock a guy down like this, a guy like Luis Sanchez, who had been fighting with physical confidence, had been fighting with the attitude of, I'm going to throw back, I'm going to give just as well as I'm getting. A lot of that goes away once you taste the canvas.
And he may get the knockout, the sensational knockout that everybody wants to see. But again, you know, I'm here putting eyes on a young man that has a lot of potential, a lot of upside, but still has a lot of work to do.
Davis dove in there during your comment, Antonio, with a right hand that seemed to land flush.
Which hand you think you hit him easier, the right or the left? Which one is close? There you go. Good jab.
Hands up, baby. Hands up.
His right hook hasn't really been much of a factor in this fight.
That lead left there, you're calling for it, Antonio.
Oh, you don't have no problem throwing the left. I call that an educated left hand.
Okay.
It's smart.
It's been his weapon of choice throughout this fight. Now, if you're Luis Sanchez, you have to counter punch and you have to land something big to back this young man off of you, because right now he smells blood. Survival mode right now is not good enough.
Oh, that's why. Lightning quick power. Sanchez flat on his face, and that's it. Katie Bayless has seen enough. Did you see that, ladies and gentlemen?
Who needs a jab?
When you have quick power like that,
He split.
Boy, with a smile ear to ear.
Sanchez bleeding profusely in the ring. He split.
Yeah. Tough to see as Sanchez is still down on his belly. Gervonta Davis, Cobra-like.
after that talking to by Floyd Mayweather, he came out on a mission.
Coiled up and sting. The sound of that, guys.
He put his nose straight through his face.
Man.
Nose is broken severely.
It's hard to imagine any lightweight taking that punch and still getting up to fight. Luis Sanchez was as game as they come throughout this fight, but man, this shot, you see it a million times, you're gonna think the same thing every time. What a punch.
Oh, and Floyd.
And that's why the world is excited about Gervonta Davis. One-punch knockout power.
Well, we're going to hear from the young phenom himself. Gervonta Davis takes his record to 14-0 with 13 knockouts. Stand by, we're back. Gervonta Davis just turned 21 years old last month. Took a little while in this fight, took a couple good punches from Luis Sanchez, but showed in the 9th round just how special he can be. Uppercuts landing, and then a devastating punch to score 1 knockdown. And another punch later in the fight, which was the blow that put Sanchez to the canvas for good. CompuBox numbers look like this. Power punches, 128 landed by the undefeated Gervonta Davis. Let's get the official decision. Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes suddenly. 2 minutes, 5 seconds into round number 9. The winner by knockout, still undefeated, Gervonta "The One" Davis.
And Jimmy Smith in the ring with the winner.
I'm here with a still undefeated Gervonta Davis. Luis Sanchez, very tough, staying in front of you throughout this fight. What was the difference in that final round when you got the knockout?
I just was listening to my corner, you know, listening to my Coach Calvin, Coach Kenny Boza, Floyd, you know. They was telling me that he was breaking down, you know, so I pressed the issue.
The knockout, screen's right up there. Take me through it. You've been landing combinations, but it was a lightning left hand that was the end of this fight. How'd you see that coming?
Whew. I just was baiting them in. I can't even tell you what it was going. I just
even you, too fast. Even you don't know.
Yeah, I just threw that joint.
I gotta ask Floyd, your protege, a guy you think can go all the way. What do you think of this performance? What do you think of this kid's future?
It's always good to go out there and get the W. He's young, he's still learning. We look forward to him being world champion someday.
Well, we look forward to seeing him again. Gervonta Davis, give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen.